iPhone users, have you ever wanted your phone to automatically go into low power mode for you as soon as it hits a certain battery percentage? Well, if you didn't know, it can do that, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how. Now I'm gonna show you how to do that later in the video, but in the meantime, we're gonna dive into some tips and tricks for your iPhone that you may or may not know. This is the first video on the channel for the year, so Happy New Year to everyone out there, and welcome back, or if you're new to the channel, welcome. Up here, I like to talk about pretty much everything in relation to technology. So if that is something you're interested in as well, you can feel free to hit the subscribe button and the like button if you feel inclined to. So I figured, what better way to start this year than to just get into some tips and tricks for your iPhone. Y'all seem to really like these videos. And for my Android users, I have not forgot y'all. I know I've been real heavy on the iPhone content, but I have some videos coming just for you very soon. But let's get into the first one. So if you're like me and you can't stand the sound of alerts and you pretty much have your phone on silent mode all the time, there's a little trick in which you can do to create custom vibration alerts for specific contacts. So the first thing you're gonna do is find the contact that you wanna customize. And then when you're on that page, you're gonna select edit and you're gonna scroll down until you get to text tone. Once you're here, you're then gonna select vibration. And then you're gonna select create new vibration. And in order to set it, you're just gonna tap out pretty much how you want the vibration to be. So if you want it to be like a long vibration, you're gonna press and hold. If you want it to be very short, you're just gonna tap. And when I hit stop, I can hit play so I can play it back, and then I can hit save. And I'm gonna name it 5 taps. And you can also do the same thing for their ringtones. So you can go into ringtone and then choose vibration, and then just go down to the custom one in which you made. And that way, anytime that particular person contacts you, you're gonna get that specific vibration in which you made for them, so you know who's reaching out to you without even having to ever look at your phone. Now, something else that you can do is drag Memoji reactions on top of your messages. So when you're having a conversation, you can pull up the Memoji down here and then capture your reaction. And then as you're making that expression, you can just drag the Memoji on top of the message in which you want to respond back to. Now this next one is something that I use all the time, and that's the option for text replacement, so that when I type in like something like TMOE, it auto replaces with my entire email. And this just saves a lot of time, especially for things that you type in a lot, like your home address, things like that. So the way you go about changing that is to go into your settings, and you're gonna search for text replacement. I'm just gonna tap up here. Then we're gonna tap here where it says text replacement. So a few shortcuts that I have are, if I type in BIZ, it types in my business phone number. Or if I type in my initials, it puts my entire name. I even have my TSA number in here so that I could just type in a certain phrase and it would auto change to that. But the way that you're gonna go about adding your own is to hit the plus symbol here in the top right. And I'm gonna make it so that when I type in TMON, which is gonna be an abbreviation for my website, which is www.techmeoutnow.com. And speaking of, if you're interested in the shirt in which I'm wearing here, I actually sell it on my merch site because it's kind of like the model that I go by on my channel. But if you wanna check it out, it's gonna be linked down below for you. So now that I have my shortcut and my phrase, I'm gonna hit save. And now anytime that I type in TMON, it's gonna automatically, I misspelled it. It's gonna automatically change to my website. Now moving on to your photos. Something that you can do is change the key photo or the cover art for an album. So right now for like my GIFs and memes album, this is what it is. But if I wanted to change that to a different one, I can just come in here and long press on a picture and then select make key photo. And now when I head back to that album, that is the key photo that's used with it. Now, if you're the type that likes to mark up your screenshots, then this next one is for you. And that's the ability to draw a shape perfectly. So if you draw the shape and then hold it in place, it actually takes your ugly scribble of a shape and makes it into a perfect one. Now, if you don't press and hold though, it's just gonna be, you know, what you draw. But if you long hold there, it'll change it for you. Now this next one here is for my, avid note users. And that's the option to see more information about the date and the time of the note in which you're viewing. So for example, if I slide all the way down here, I can see the date and the time for this note. But if I were to tap it, it also will tell me the date in which the note was created, as well as when it was last edited. And while we're in here in the Notes app, something that you can do is actually slide to the right to indent. So I know this was something that stumped me for a while when I was using notes. So if you want to indent something in particular, you can just take your finger and swipe. Now, in one of my previous tips and tricks videos, I showed you how to grab more than one app and move it to another page. And that was, you know, just long press on it. And while you're holding it, you're gonna grab the others by tapping on it. And now I have all 3 of these selected, or 4, I don't know how many I selected. But normally, in order to get it to the next page, you have to hold it and then it'll move to the next page. But another way in which you can do the same thing is to just take your finger and swipe as you're holding the apps, so that you don't have to sit here and wait for it at the edge of the screen to jump to the next page. You know how you might be meeting someone at a specific location and you kind of want to know their ETA. Here's a cool way in which you can do so, or rather when they get there. Here's a cool way in which you can find that out. So the first thing you're going to do is head into your messages, into the conversation with that person. And then you're going to select info and you're going to select share my location. And when you do that, you can say share indefinitely, share until the end of the day, or share for 1 hour. And in my case, what I did is I hit share for 1 hour. And then that person only can see where I am for 1 hour. But the neat thing that I discovered when I was meeting with my friend for lunch is that it'll actually tell you when that person has arrived at the location. And I thought that was super cool because I didn't even know that it would tell me that she was there. I didn't even set it on my calendar that that's where we were meeting, but somehow the phone knew. So just a really neat way to find out when your friend has arrived at your meeting spot. It's also really handy when you're traveling, so you can share your location with your friends and family to let them know when you've reached your destination successfully. Now, if you've ever needed to find out the warranty status, I don't know if you know or not, but you don't have to call Apple Care or even go on the web. You can actually get that information right from your settings. So to see it, you're gonna go into your settings, and then you're gonna go to general, and then you're gonna go to about, and you'll notice a section that says limited warranty, at least in my case. Yours might have Apple Care, but if you tap on it, it'll give you the information in terms of the coverage that you have, as well as when it expires. For those of you out there that are like me and have a ton of tabs open in Safari because you never close them for whatever reason, here's a way in which you can search through them to find something that you need. So what you have to do is tap the 2 squares here in the bottom right, and you're gonna scroll all the way to the top of your tabs. And you're gonna tap here where it says search. And then you can type in the word in which you're looking for. For testing, I'm gonna just type in Nikazon, and it's gonna pull up all my tabs that have Nikazon in it. And I can actually hold down the word cancel here to quickly close those tabs if I want it, or I can tap on the one in which I do want. You can also tap the 2 squares here in the bottom right and choose to close all of the tabs, or just close this specific one amongst a few other things. Now this next trick here is super clutch, and that's the ability to put your phone automatically in Do Not Disturb at a certain time of day. So I actually have mine set to go into Do Not Disturb mode at a certain time at night and get out of Do Not Disturb mode at a certain time in the morning. I went from considering turning my phone entirely off at night to using this. And it's super handy, especially if you get a lot of emails at night and you don't want to turn off your notifications for it altogether. Use this, because that was my issue. But the way you go about doing it is to go into your settings, and then once you're in here, you're going to head to Do Not Disturb, and then you're gonna turn on the option for schedule. And I also have it so that it dims the lock screen. I also want it to stay in this mode even if I unlock my phone. And I only want calls that are in my favorites list to be able to come through. But you can come in here and change it so that, you know, everyone can still get through, or a specific contact group can get through. And I also have it selected for repeated calls to be able to get through. So if somebody calls back to back within 3 minutes, the call will come through, which is a good option for emergencies because people tend to call back to back. Now, something that I recently discovered, and I don't know how long this has been around, is emergency bypass. And that's the option for specific contacts to pretty much always be able to get through even when Do Not Disturb is on. And you also get audible alerts from them even if your phone is on silent. So if you're interested in turning this on, you're gonna go to that contact card in which you want to turn it on for, and then you're gonna select edit, and then you're gonna go down into the section that says text tone. Now you do have the option for it to only apply to the text tone or the ringtone. So in my case, I'm gonna go to the text tone, and then I'm gonna scroll all the way to the top, and I'm gonna select emergency bypass. And then this would only happen for the text from this person. Or I can select ringtone and do the same thing so that it happens for the calls and the text. All right, so this is a way that you can get your phone to go into low power mode automatically as soon as it hits a certain battery percentage. And that's to head into your shortcuts app. Then you're gonna go to automation, and we're gonna hit this plus symbol, and we're gonna select personal automation. Now after that, we're gonna go down to battery level, and we're gonna say anything that falls below 25%. And then we're gonna select next. And then we're gonna choose add action, and you're gonna search for low power. And once it pulls up set low power mode, we're gonna tap on that, and then we're gonna select next. And now we're gonna turn off ask before running because we want it to just automatically do it. And from here, anytime the battery falls below 25%, it's gonna automatically go into low power mode. And that's it. So just a way to better preserve your battery without you having to think about it to do so. But that's gonna do it for this one, y'all. I'm gonna throw on screen now some other videos that you can check out that you might enjoy. As always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.